This video is for entertainment purposes only. All photos have been found in the public domain and are fair use and fair dealing. Good morning, it is Monday the 5th of August. I hope you had a lovely weekend, I know I did. So today I am going to be talking to you around the subject of whether or not the royals are starting to turn against Harry and Meghan, and whether or not they're kind of closing ranks or just hiding behind the palaces. So first things first, it was her birthday yesterday, and as expected, all the royal households wished her a happy birthday. They used the correct titles for her. I'd like you to just remember that she doesn't for others, but they do for her. That in itself is very telling. Over the last few months, there have been so many conflicting stories with regards to Meghan and Harry and the royal family. One minute she's spending her birthday with the Queen at Balmoral, the next she's at home with Prince Harry enjoying a quiet birthday. We've seen one that says that Charles and the Queen are thoroughly behind Meghan and backing her, and another stating that the Queen will be having a quiet word with her while at Balmoral, but then again she's not at Balmoral. It does make your head spin. So which one's true? There's no real telling, to be quite honest. We seem to be getting this kind of ping-pong like back and forth narrative when it comes to this woman. As soon as a negative piece comes out regarding Meghan, an article known as a puff piece is also released to try and sway away negativity. A prime example of this was the disastrous article regarding those rules released to the residents on the Windsor estate. It's my belief that the Vogue articles were then drip-fed to try and dampen down the flames about the rules fallout. It's a well-known English saying that today's news is tomorrow's chip papers. Basically, it means that tomorrow there'll be something else to talk about. Let's calm down. Everybody will soon forget it. So it was my firm belief that the Vogue PR push was released to try and take the attention away from the very negative press that she received about these so-called rules. However, that can only work if the sleight of hand news articles are ironclad to get the support. It's quite possible that her PR team, i.e. Sarah Latham, thought that the various news articles would shine a light on how amazing the Duchess really is. But there's a problem with this. If the goodwill comes from a place that truly is working towards the good of the people, then you can't really pick it apart, can you? If what happened in this case is a shallow attempt to make it all about Meghan, then the press and the public will not only see through the blatant attempt to make sure that she looks good, but then totally pick apart and analyse every aspect of the project. And this is exactly what happened. For example, the 15 Women Force the Change cover for Vogue not only highlighted just how self-obsessed Meghan is, but also that some of the people that were chosen for that cover didn't really get looked into, their backgrounds didn't. Also the fact that the copy isn't just identical to the Australian book that I've discussed in another video. It's an almost identical copy of her goodbye post from the Tig. This then leads to more negative press, so then they try and put out another puff piece to try and cover up the previous negative piece. In this instance, it was that she's writing a children's book. But yet again, the inconsistencies become obvious because this is a copied idea. More negative press, so yet another puff piece is out. This time, the author of the beach poem. This got a slightly more lukewarm response. But the fact that the poem was actually written as a joke then puts everything else into question. However, I will state that the gentleman that wrote the poem says that her note was a wonderful gift and that it was very, very heartfelt. So, could that be turning it around? I have no idea. And surely, if you're championing something that you truly believe in, wouldn't you do your due diligence? Speaking of due diligence, one of the people that were featured on the Vogue cover, Tessa Clark, is a former managing director of Wonga. This company is the legal loan shark company, vilified for preying on dangerous borrowers. Wonga is now actually administration, they're defunct, they're gone. But this company was charging borrowers a staggering high rate of interest. They charged up to 5,853% APR interest, and it pushed lots of customers that were in deep, deep need of money and couldn't go anywhere else to go even deeper into debt. The company peddled what we call in the UK payday loans. They charge an extortionate amount of interest on very small term loans. And Wonga loans were described by one of our MPs as a toxic form of finance and another as the worst form of credit anybody could ever take out. So is she really a force for change that should be shined a light on? While her new venture is more palatable because it helps people share unwanted food, it still leaves a bad taste in your mouth, doesn't it? It's been said that this tactic of throwing out a story to mask the negative previous story is a well-known strategy in PR relations. But when does it stop? Like me, many people are now getting fed up of the constant daily stream of puff pieces to try and dampen down and do damage control after damage control after damage control to try and basically stop the flow of negativity. Perhaps if these stories weren't released, then we would kind of simmer down and feel a little bit more at ease. But by ramming their achievements and what they believe to be good deeds, we just don't get a break from it. Have you ever opened up your newsfeed to another story about them and just rolled your eyes? We're being saturated with them, especially Meghan. And can this continue before something snaps? Has it already snapped? Who's putting out these pieces? Is it her PR firm? Is it nosy journalist? Or is it just to keep up the momentum and to make sure that everybody looks at them? When Dr. Manir Somji shared two-sided photos on Instagram of the Duchess of Cambridge and wrote, "Our Kate loves a bit of baby Botox," Kensington Palace strongly denied the outrageous claims by this plastic surgeon that Kate got baby Botox following the birth of her children. Buckingham Palace were very quick to nip this in the bud. So why aren't they doing this for Meghan? Surely they would treat both duchesses the same when it comes to untrue stories. Some stupidly claim that this has to do with racism. It's not. Buckingham Palace don't play like that. They're very defensive when it comes to shooting down stories that are not true. When asked to comment on Prince Harry's visit to the Google Climate Summit, they refused to confirm his attendance and whether or not he flew out there on one of the 114 private jets. So why did Buckingham Palace speak out on certain things and not others? Where are all these stories being leaked from in the media? Have you ever noticed that when a positive article comes out about the Duchess of Cambridge, within a couple of hours, another puff piece is released about Meghan Markle? Is this just a power play between two royal households? Ultimately, William and Kate will one day become king and queen consort, and all others will be outshone. But is Buckingham Palace slightly leaning towards William and Kate because the Duke and Duchess of Sussex are plastered all over the news? Are Buckingham Palace sick of trying to clear up their press faux pas? Are Buckingham Palace letting this PR circus go on because they know no matter what they say, Their team will at some point release an unofficial leak that can't be controlled. Why isn't the palace stepping in and sorting out this mess? Because by damaging Harry and Meghan's reputation, they're also damaging the royal families. Or is it a case of providing enough rope? Let her stir the pot and eventually the tide will turn so rough that they will have to wash their hands of the two. The royal foundation split was telling enough. Yes, it was spun, the fact that Harry and Meghan wanted the freedom away from the tight rigidness of the royal foundation. But was there another side to that? Were they pushed rather than leave by their own choice? Did William and Kate force the divide to distance themselves from the two because they know what's coming? Or was their working relationship so tense because of the rumoured rift? Or was it the fact that Meghan Markle is known for controlling, passionate ways, and this would have a detrimental effect on the foundation? Does the Queen's and ultimately Buckingham Palace's silence, while most of the British public are calling out for her to bring these two to heel, mean anything? If you take a look on any given day, on any Harry and Meghan article from the Daily Mail, you can see the comments and the level of distaste people have. They're all there. You can see the numbers of likes against dislikes, the red arrows against green arrows. It's just astounding. So do Buckingham Palace know exactly what's coming and they're remaining tight-lipped? So what do you think? Do you think that the Buckingham Palace silence and not particularly going and defending her means something? Are they closing ranks? As always, I'd love to know what you think. I hope you've enjoyed today's. There's not actually been that much news circulating that hasn't been said before, which is why I've kind of done a different tack today. I hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you very much for listening, and I'll see you again soon.